This story, when I was reading this, I wasn't really surprised. I was kind of embarrassed. Yeah, I'm embarrassed as an American. People look at America, and because I've traveled around a lot, I've been in Europe, and people have always asked me, what's it like to be American? Or they don't even ask; they just find out that I'm American and add a stereotype to me. And then you add the fact that I was a model for a long time, American and model. It's like, oh, well, I know exactly who you are. And then they quote Zoolander, or they quote like the most obnoxious things that Americans are known for. But now, what are Americans being known for? It's this woke, racist ideology that they're pushing in our schools, critical race theory. It's just insanity. So I read this article and I was just like, wow. Check this out. Check this out. North Korean defector slams woke U.S. schools. And you know what? She's right, 100%. And you'll agree, I'm sure, by the time I'm finished reading this. Check this out. She went to college here. Yeah, she thought that the U.S. was a country of free thought and free speech. Why did my mouse just die? No, it didn't. What's going on with my mouse? Okay. Dude, my mouse is freaking out right now. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay. Yeonmi Park attended Columbia University and was immediately struck by what she viewed as anti-Western sentiment in the classroom and a focus on political correctness that had her thinking, even North Korea isn't this nuts. This is a North Korean defector saying that even North Korea isn't this nuts. Again, she says, I expected that I was paying this fortune, all this time and energy to learn how to think. But they are forcing you to think the way that they want you to think, Park told Fox News. I realized, wow, this is insane. I thought America was different, but I saw so many similarities to what I saw in North Korea that I started worrying. The 27-year-old told the Post that she couldn't believe she would be asked to do this much censoring of myself at a university in the United States. I literally crossed the Gobi Desert to be free, and I realized I'm not free. America's not free, she said. Yeonmi Park fled North Korea at the age of 13 in 2007, a voyage that took her and her family to China and South Korea before she went to school in New York in 2016. Her professors gave students trigger warnings, sharing the wording from readings in advance so people could opt out of reading or even sitting in class during discussions, Park told the Post. Going to Columbia, the first thing I learned was safe space. She said every problem they explained to us is because of white men. Some of the discussions are even white privilege, reminded her of the caste system in her native country, where people were categorized based on their ancestors. Craziness. In one class, a teacher discussing Western civilization asked students if they had a problem with the name of the topic. Most students raised their hand. According to Park, some, she said, mentioned issues with colonial slant of the discussion. Oh my gosh. The classes often began with professors asking students for their preferred pronouns, and with the use of they becoming scary, as she feared being socially penalized for not being inclusive enough for her vocabulary. English is my third language, she said. It's very hard for me to say he and she sometimes. I misuse them. Even just he and she is difficult for her to say. She told Fox that she was also chided for saying she enjoyed the writings of Jane Austen. I said, I love these books. I thought it was a good thing, Park told the network. Then she said, did you know these writers had a colonial mindset? They were racists and bigots and subconsciously brainwashing you. Park said North Korean students were constantly informed about the American bastard. I thought North Koreans were the only people who hated Americans, but it turns out there are a lot of people hating this country in this country, she told the Post. Cancel culture and shouting down opposing voices is becoming an issue of self-censorship. Park, who chronicled her escape from North Korea and life in the repressive regime in 2015 memoir, In Order to Live, said Americans seem willing to give their rights away, not realizing they may never come back. Voluntarily, these people are censoring each other, silencing each other. No force behind it, she said. Other times in history, there's a military coup d'etat, like a force coming in to take your rights away and silence you. But this country is choosing to be silenced, choosing to give away their rights. Park said she knows what a country could become with rights and discourse stripped away. North Korea is pretty insane, she said. Like the first thing my mom taught me was don't even whisper. The birds and mice could hear me. That's frightening. This should be an eye-opener, okay? Don't get me wrong. I have a feeling most of the people that watch my show agree with me already. They already agree with her that this CTR, critical race theory, the whole separating us on our ancestors, not on our beliefs, but our skin color and what race we are, what gender we are. That's what's being pushed to the front. Sorry. They're trying to divide us. They're trying to keep us divided and using it as a way because they know most people think it's kind of silly. So they're convincing people to self-censor. They're convincing these people that this is important to do, that we need to be divided like this. This is important to teach. We're not trying to stop people learning about what racism is. That's what now the Democrats are saying. The Republicans are trying to stop racism from being taught. No, they're not. They're going off of what Martin Luther King believed, and that's that we should be judged on who we are as people, not on the color of our skin. She's from North Korea, and she's saying even North Korea is not that bad. Wow. It is a sad day to hear that someone who came from North Korea to get away, to come to America the free, home of the brave. Well, who's out there being brave? They're saying it's stunning and brave to stand up and say, well, I identify as something that's not what I physically have down there. Wow, you're so brave. That's not brave. That's not. I'm sorry. That's not what bravery is. They're taking words and just using them. No. Bravery is going out and serving this country. This flag right here was flown for me, for people that actually serve this country. That's bravery. Putting your life on the line. All right? Even police officers. Okay, not all police officers are good, and no one likes bad cops less than good cops. But we still need them. They still put their lives on the line. It's still a risky job. That's bravery. Look at this. Babylon Bee made a joke. Kim Jong-un attends Ivy League University to learn new brainwashing techniques. Obviously, this is satire, but it's hilarious. It is hilarious. Because maybe it's true. He might be able to learn a thing or two. He might be able to learn a thing or two. All right. I'm done with it. I'm so fed up with talking about race. Oh my gosh. When are we going to stop? Life shouldn't be about race. Seriously. I've met amazing people of all different skin color. Seriously. Any person of any skin color can be amazing. That's it. And the vice versa is true as well. Any person of any skin color could be terrible. That's Krigler race theory. Yeah. Anyway,